To Alan Rickman, one of the lead actors of this film, Eye in the Sky, all I have to say is, boom! Happy trails, Alan Rickman. Eye in the Sky, directed by Gavin Hood, the man that directed X-Men Origins Wolverine, starring the late and great Alan Rickman, Helen Mirren, and Aaron Paul. This movie is a little film that came out of the Toronto Film Festival. It just got a wide release. In this movie, Helen Mirren plays Colonel Catherine Powell, an officer who is going after these terrorists in Somalia, in the area where the conflict is happening in Somalia, Kenya, and Nairobi, which I believe are the three countries named in this movie. She's tracked these terrorists down to a home somewhere in Somalia. She's got an agent there on the ground played by Barkhad Adid, the man who got nominated for an Academy Award supporting actor in Captain Jack Phillips. He's using spy tech there to keep an eye on the terrorists. And you got two drone pilots using a drone to keep an eye on the terrorists from the sky, hence the name of this movie, Eye in the Sky, played by Aaron Paul and Phoebe Fox. And what happens is, from the spy tech feed and the drone feed, Helen Mirren's character and Alan Rickman's character, who is in a different area, I think somewhere in Washington, D.C. he's located, Lieutenant General Frank Benson, they see that the terrorists are preparing to suit up for a suicide bomb attack. And they got British officials there too watching the feed. Now, the British officials want to bring two of the terrorists back alive to stand trial. But things change when you realize that they're suiting up for a suicide bomb attack. So they want to prevent lives from getting killed. And they figure the best way to do that is with a drone strike. However, they realize there's a possibility of collateral damage, of innocent civilians getting killed from the blast. So they're doing their best to try to make sure that that doesn't happen in this movie. This is a really good movie. I did like this. Alan Rickman is excellent in this film, and it's really good to see him in a movie after he's died now, because this is a great way to say goodbye to him. And people of this generation know him as Snape from the Harry Potter films, the teacher in those movies that taught dark magic. But people of my generation know him as Hans Gruber, the first villain from the Die Hard movies. And he's an amazing actor, so when I heard that he died last January at 69 of cancer, it was really sad for me to hear about this. And when I heard about this movie, I definitely wanted to see it because I wanted a chance to say goodbye to him while watching this movie, so it was really cool seeing them act in this movie again. Helen Mirren is also very excellent in this film, really good. Aaron Paul, who plays one of the drone pilots in this movie, he's really good. Phoebe Fox plays the other drone pilot, she's good. Barkhad Adid plays the Somali agent on the ground watching over the terrorists with the spy tech. He's really good in this movie, I really did like him. And the other actors in this film, Ian Glenn plays a politician in the movie, he's pretty good. And finally you got Gavin Hood, the director himself, makes a cameo in the movie. The cameo he got, he was pretty good in it. Overall, this movie is, even though this takes place in one day, it's very suspenseful and it's very gripping because the drone feed that you see focuses not only on the place where the terrorists are, but you also see this little girl that could get hit by the blast when they strike the place, and they're doing their best to give the little girl enough time to get out of the way before they strike the home. And that is really very gripping because shows the morality of using drones and the consequences of what happens when you use them on the people of the surrounding area. What could happen later on is sort of left up to the audience. I suppose one of the things that could happen later on, if someone were to die from collateral damage of a drone strike, the family of that loved one that dies could be radicalized to become a future terrorist later on. So there's always that possibility. You may prevent one terrorism attack, but you may cause another one to happen in the future. And use of spy technology in this movie creates some good questions as well as the use of drones, because there's always that possibility that our own government could use them domestically here in the United States. I think I've heard reports of law enforcement actually using drones, which that is surprising to hear. I don't know if they would use the spy tech on civilians for law enforcement domestically, possibly. This was a really good movie and I did like this. However, the negatives for me with this movie was the fact that it felt a little too short. I actually wanted more from this movie when it was done with. I was so invested with this movie, I wanted to see a little bit more. Overall, I'm going to give this movie a B. It's definitely worth checking out in the theater, or if you want to, you could just wait and catch it on Redbox, or wait a little bit longer and watch it off of Netflix when it eventually gets there. And that's all I gotta say for Eye in the Sky. Rest in peace, Alan Rickman.